Yeah.
Anyway, I thought today, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome to you too.
Yes, I thought today we'd talk a little bit about some of the Google services and focusing a bit about Gmail, and maybe have a quick look at some of the other features that come with it. So what I've done is I've actually set up a second Gmail account just for the purpose of playing with it and recording and doing a bit of training and things. So if you've got any Gmail questions, today's the day to ask them.
Okay. I don't know what I don't know, I think.
Well, you don't know what you don't know until you start to know or think that you know what you know, you know?
Yeah.
You know?
Whatever you said.
Yeah, all those things. So, what's on your screen now?
Okay, yes. It's somebody's email. Emails,
yes,
are they yours?
Yes, this is one of my Gmail accounts, or really it's just an email account, but using the Gmail service. So all these emails are in the cloud. Now, one thing that probably puts some people off when they see Gmail for the first time, and that is, it's so wishy-washy, and I'll show you what I mean. So when you get Gmail for the first time, have a look at the themes. It looks like this one here. So let's apply that theme. So that's what most people see when they sign up to Gmail for the first time. And I personally think that's a little bit too hard to sort of see the difference between, I know we've got our menus over the side here, and I've got the emails in the middle here, but there's a whole lot of white here and a little bit of black, and I don't know, I'm a bit more of a visual sort of person. So what I discovered very quickly when I signed up to Gmail is when you go into the settings, you can change the theme. So, and by changing the theme, you can make it into something that's more user friendly. So for a lot of people, just putting a background color on it is enough to make the difference. So, and this one works well for me, just a bit of a light blue. Some people like something a little bit more thoughtful and peaceful, like what would you call that, a violet or sort of?
Called lavender. Well, it tells you. It's telling me the name.
There you go. It is too. So that's lavender, and I add blue. So you don't have to be smart to do that. And of course, you got mustard here.
Yeah.
No, that would make me a little bit hungry. But some people like a little bit of mood with it. So
yeah, Japanese cherry blossom.
Yeah, so while the Olympics are on, that's probably good. Or if you're a country boy like me,
it's too messy. It's too messy.
If you're a country boy like me, you'd probably like a nice wooden background like that. But if you look at that, I think that's all a little bit too dark now. So instead of having it all too light, now we have an email box that's just too dark. So I'm going back into the settings and going back to the themes to view all the themes. And now I've had sort of backgrounds on here before. You can actually load backgrounds off your computer. But I tend to like things that are a little bit plainish. So this one here, that's also got a nice wooden background, but the email area itself, it's a little bit brighter, so that's okay. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, that's okay.
Good. We're not having that one. We're going to go back to the blue one. I just think it's probably easier to sort of...
You like the blue, yeah.
I'll do, but it's easy to explain things with the plain color, so there's no confusion or anything there. But that just makes it nice and easy for you can so you can determine where your menus are and where your emails are, and there's lots of other different settings that you can do too. So if you say use Outlook as your email thing, you might think, well, is this a bit like Outlook? Well, let's have a look at an email and we'll find out. So I have subscribed to a couple of email services, and you can see one here is called the Membership Guys. So when we have a look at an email from the Membership Guys, you can see, no, I don't want to save it to Google Drive. Okay. Google's always trying to help you with different things. So I've added a couple of extra features to my Chrome browser that works with Gmail. Like I can save an email to my computer as a document in PDF format if I wanted to. Now, some people would find that very useful if they want to use emails later on for information. It also saves the attachments as well. So if you wanted to say print them out, when you save them in this format, they print out really well. Because sometimes when you try and print an email, you get all sorts of other different bits and pieces. Yes, that's part of the deal. So that's one way to make it good. I can also save this email to my Google Drive, which is one of the features that you get with your Google account, which we'll talk about shortly. But basically, when you open an email, the menu on the top tells you what you can do, all the different things you can do with this email. So we can always go back. We can archive this, which will take it out of the inbox, but it will keep it in the Membership Guys folder that I've created. I can mark it as spam if I want to, but I don't. I made a choice to join this. Now, if I wanted to leave this subscription, what Gmail does is they actually put a handy little unsubscribe option right at the top here. So normally if you want to unsubscribe to a newsletter that you're getting a lot of, you go down to the bottom here.
Yes.
And on the bottom of every email that's operating legitimately according to the Span Can Act. Anyway, it's some sort of law to do with spamming. They always have to have an unsubscribe option. So, and it's usually down the bottom here, and it tells you which email address that you have subscribed to, and then you've got the option to unsubscribe here. I'm not going to click on that because I don't want to unsubscribe. But when you first set up Gmail, often these are actually buttons without words on it. So if I can remember how to change that, I went into settings, and
how did you go to settings? What did you do to go to settings? I'm not.
Yeah, okay. To get into settings, I just looked at this cog here. Now, over time, that's been a spanner. At one stage, it was the word settings.
Where are you? Where are you looking?
Can you see my mouse? A little black arrow up in the top corner up here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a cog, is it? A cog.
Yeah. So if I could, yeah, there like that. See, it's a cog.
Yeah.
Now I've got to turn it back into a mouse and delete what I've got. Yeah. So you click on the settings, and when you
come up here.
Yeah. So first of all, I've got different ways to present my Gmail. So when I press on default, it sort of spaced out your folders on the side here a little bit. When I press comfortable, I didn't really see much difference at all, but I think that's more to do with the emails themselves. So let's have a look. So that's default. It doesn't look much different to comfortable from what I can see here. And there's compact. Now everything's all squished in together with compact. So I like the default settings. It works all right for me. There's plenty of room to see. It sort of feels like everything's a little bit less busy because there's a bit more space between each of the emails. And down here, you've got your reading pane. So I've got no split set at the moment. But just say if you've been using Outlook as your email, you might like it to look like the reading pane. So let's reload Gmail and we'll activate the reading pane. And it just reloads itself. Notice Gmail is now called Google Workspace.
Oh, where did you see that?
Just when it was reloading. So now what I've done here is, I don't want to activate polls. It's all good. Thank you. When you do add on some free extensions to your Google account, sometimes they get really interested in trying to sell you the paid version of their things. So
yeah, I can imagine.
It's something I just need to push back with at the moment. That's not what I want with this account. I might use it on another account. But so this is more closer to your Microsoft experience with your email on the side. And then when you click on it, the actual email itself just appears over on the side here like that. It's a little bit clumsy for me, but what I can do to make it a bit better is I can click on the 3 lines up here, otherwise known as a main menu, and that will minimize your side menu on the left-hand side here. So it only comes out when you hover your mouse over it. So that gives you a little bit more room to look at your emails and read your emails. You can also adjust it by dragging it a little bit like that. So you get a sneak preview of what you've got here and a little bit more room to look at your email here. And then, of course, you can click here and that will open that whole email up in a new window. And you can also click here and that will print this email itself without printing all this stuff over here.
Oh, how did you get that split page again? Can you just go back and...
yes, to get the split page, you go to the settings up the top here.
Oh, back to the old good old setting.
Yeah, and then you just go down towards the bottom and it's got reading pane. Yeah. And you can have no split right of inbox, or the other way you can have it is we can click on below inbox. And that puts the email that you're reading just underneath your other emails there, underneath your list. So I'll just close the settings. And some people actually prefer it that way. But to do it that way, you'd have to really reduce what you've got here.
Yeah, that would annoy me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't find that a useful way of doing it. It'd be all right if I only had, say, 3 emails a day. But as you can see.
Yeah, well, that's right. It just depends, doesn't it, on how many emails you're getting a day. I like to see as many emails as I can on the one screen.
Yeah, and that's also good so you can do things with them. So let's scroll down and we'll put it to the right of the inbox.
Yep.
And there we are. So you see enough of the email here to know what it's about. And just like with the new Microsoft Mail that you'll get with Windows 10 and also Windows 11 when that starts rolling out, you can open your email program and just hover over each email and you have a list of things that you can do. So you can save this one to Drive, you can archive it, you can delete it, you can mark it as read, or you can snooze it. Okay, so they're sort of management tools.
What will snooze do to it?
What snooze does is, I'll show you, we'll click on snooze and I can snooze this email until later today. So 6 o'clock tonight, that will pop back up in my inbox. Or I can snooze it for tomorrow until 8 a.m. or just bump it right across till next week. So it gets past the weekend because it's sort of built with your working day in mind. So in theory, I'll work Monday to Friday, so I can do it Monday. Or I can actually select the date and time myself. So I can say, let's bring that up tomorrow, Saturday, at about, say, 10 a.m. And I'll save that. And it's disappeared now. It's gone. But it hasn't really gone. It's just hidden. I've snoozed it. So that's going to appear again at 10 o'clock tomorrow. So just say you get a series of emails from some people that you want to deal with, but you don't want to deal with now, you just click on the little snooze option here, and then you just choose maybe. So first thing in the morning, you get all those emails and go, yeah, I'll deal with them today, but not yet. So later today, and the default is 6 p.m. So you can just click on a whole heap of emails and they'll all pop up at 6 o'clock tonight. So when you're finished out on the road or in the office, you can sit down and then do all your emails once you've finished everything else. So quite a useful function, the snooze function. Now the archive function, what that does is that hides the email, but it's still available. And if it's in a folder like this one here, the membership guys one. Now if I just so this one is, it starts off with let's talk about. So just say if I archive that, it's gone out of my inbox now, but I haven't lost it. If I can remember what it's about, I can search for it up the top here and maybe type in let's talk about and see if that comes in. There it is. Let's talk about the M word. So that's the one that I just archived. So I can't see it in my inbox, but I know it's still in my Gmail somewhere because Google.
Somewhere. Where's the somewhere? Where's it gone?
It's actually in the membership guides folder because.
So you've set that up already?
Yeah, I have. Say Google is a search engine, and I'll show you how to set up folders as well. But because Google's a search engine, you can just save all your emails and hide them, archive them, and just type in the name of the email or the person it was from, and all the emails will come up just like search results. And then you just pick the one that you want. So if you learn to use that, you can become quite efficient at using Gmail for work or pleasure. So I'll just bring this menu out again. So when I'm in the inbox here, I've got emails from Firefox, from Google, from membership guys, and also from Mozilla, the people who make Firefox, YouTube, because you get a YouTube membership with your Google account. And yeah, all sorts of emails there. But just say if I wanted to look at, see, I've got one here called How to Geek. Now, notice you can't see anything from How to Geek in my inbox. That is because when I set that filter up, I set it up to go straight to the How to Geek folder without going into the inbox.
I like that.
Yeah, so, and you can see why. There's 641 emails in there. So, so if I want to have a look at the latest How to Geek email, I would click in the How to Geek folder, and that will bring up all the How to Geek emails. And look, there's an email just about every day. There's even more than one a day sometimes.
One. Are you an expert geek?
No, that's why I've subscribed to this. Because if I read any of them, maybe one day, if I read one, like this one here, how to block Facebook or any distracting website. So they've got some instructions on how to block Facebook so you can be more productive and not be distracted by it. And there we are. Now it's talking about how Samsung Galaxy phones have easy mode for better accessibility. That's actually something that I do set up with a lot of my older customers. I put their Android phone, or their Samsung ones in particular, into easy mode. And what that does is it gets rid of all the animations and all the other customizations, and you just put on your favorite apps that you use all the time. So you've got phone, messages, internet, and camera. They're always visible, so your customer can just click on them without having to swipe up and scroll and click and drag and all those sorts of things. And so you pretty much just have a home screen with the main things that you want. You can set up a second screen with other apps, and the icons are nice and big, so it's easy to use with your fingers, and it's easier not to make mistakes and click on the wrong thing. And you can't accidentally drag icons off the screen and lose them like you do with the normal Android experience. So easy mode is something very good for, as it says here, for better accessibility. You can even put it in contrast mode so that it's black with white writing, or it's like that. So,
I did that accidentally once, and then I couldn't find how to go back. I do a lot of things accidentally, of course.
yeah. So as you can see here, if I did have the time, I could get really lost in the How to Geek world.
Yes.
And that's why I hide them from the inbox and they go straight to the How to Geek folder. So also I've got the membership guys folder here too. So this is a subscription to a service or a company or a business that's all about showing you how to run a membership site. And they've actually got courses that you can pay for, and you can go through and actually set up your own membership site. And you can have membership sites for all sorts of different reasons. And so this one, ignore this advice about your membership. I don't know what that's about, but they're using typical sales techniques here, like don't buy a new car until you read this or something like that. Yeah, so they're going, ignore this advice about your membership. So, of course, we're not going to ignore it, are we? Because they've told us to. We're going to do the opposite. And they've also put an exclamation mark. So that means, oh, see, this is important. So anyway, no, I'm not going to read it. But that's how you can put things into folders. And also you've got your normal folders here, like you got spam and you got your bin. And you got your categories here. So we'll just look at the categories. So with the categories, you'll notice when we go back to the inbox that you've got, oh yeah, we'll go back to the inbox. Okay, so when I'm in this mode, it shows that thing all the time. So you notice you've got primary, social, and promotions on this one here. So if I scroll down to categories, now to get down here, I've got to click on this arrow next to more. And then you can see this little scroll bar here. You see there's more folders and options down the bottom here. Like there's an updates folder here, which will have stuff in it that doesn't make it to the inbox, and promotions and that. So let's click on updates and I'll click on show so you can see that. And I'll just go back to updates again. Where'd it go? I lost it. Okay, promotions, forums, down, down, down. Chats, standard, bins, social forums. Manage labels. Okay. So we're going to manage labels. So we've got the inbox is always visible. Starred is set to show. Snooze is set to show. Important. Chats sent. Scheduled.
Okay, so show or hide.
So there's so many different options that you can show. So we want to show updates, show in message lists. Yeah, so that says show. You got forums and promotions. So you can really get carried away with your labels.
You can, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can. So
I won't be.
Very customizable. So you notice we've moved into the settings area here, and this is also where you can see the filters. So the filters are, so we've got the newsletter, the How to Geek, and the rules I've put here is skip inbox, apply label, How to Geek, never send it to spam. So I'm never going to miss out on one, but I'm never going to see it in the inbox, but I have applied a label to it. And this one here is the membership guys label. And basically all I've said to there is apply a label to it and never send it to spam. So
and one day when you've got absolutely nothing to do, you might go and look at them.
I might. I might.
You know what, I have figured that one day when I've got nothing to do, I've got so many lists of different things that I'm going to do and I won't know where I've put them.
So let's just go back to our inbox. And yeah, so we've got promotions, social and primary in here. So primary is your important emails. Social would be anything to do with, say, a Facebook or Instagram or something like that. So any emails about that would appear in here. I'm likely not to get anything like that in this because I don't use any of those services with this email account. Now in the promotions area here, we're getting a few things here from Firefox, from the membership guys, even ads from HelloFresh. And Yesware, that's another addition that I've put on one of my other email accounts. But Bethany wants me to sort of get involved with Yesware, which is just an email tracking type service that tells you when people have opened your emails and things like that.
How does it know it's a promotion?
Basically by the email address it comes from. So it's learned that Bethany at Yesware is the sales department, even though it says support. From the company, and Bethany's just trying to get me to buy their paid version of Yesware, but I haven't really had time to do that. So, and I have no real wish to, so I won't be doing that. But so basically, you can see you can do a fair bit with your email account. Now I'm going to switch this back to this view here, the no split here, because this way works best for me because I can see all the emails that I want, and when I want to look at an email, I'll just click on it and it will open up for me like that. So for me, that's the best experience to look at emails because I can see the whole lot there, and I can see all the menu options that I can do with it once I've opened it. So when you get an email like this in Gmail, you're just getting used to it. The obvious things you're going to do with emails are create and send emails. We'll do that in a second. And what's the other thing is when you get an email, you reply to emails, don't you? So how would you reply to this one here?
Oh, some of them I do, not many. Don't reply to many.
So as you can see on here, it doesn't have reply obviously up on your screen here, does it? So even when I click on more, I've got other things to do here, but I can't reply. So why can't I reply? Well, you can, but the reason why you can't obviously see to reply is because those options are actually on the email itself. So you can reply by clicking here.
Yeah.
Now, if this was from multiple people, you click on here, and then you can see other options. You can forward it to different people, and if it did have more people in the address, like if it was sent to myself and other people, the reply all option will also be available here. But if you look here, it's got here filter messages like these. So if I wanted to create a filter for Firefox, so it appears down the side here like this, I would click on filter messages like these. So I can do that from, now what have I done? I've clicked on it. Let's just go back. So that's your job, not my job.
Yeah.
So, okay, so just say we wanted to create a filter for Firefox. We can click on the three dots here once we open the email, and that brings us to this option here, filter messages like these.
Yeah.
Or we can click on the more button up the top here. So you click on that there and just go down here, and we can create a filter. So that's what we'll do now. So let's click on filter messages like these. And so when it's a filter, you're actually creating a label, or part of it is you can create a label. So we're creating rules. So if you're thinking about the old Microsoft Outlook and Outlook Express, you would create rules for your emails. And that's basically what we're doing, except today we're calling filters. So this filter says any email from Firefox at email.mozilla.org and I can put a subject. If it's always got the same subject, I can put that in there to make a more detailed filter. And you can have includes the words or doesn't have words in it. So you can start creating all sorts of information out of that. We're just going to click on create filter because we're going to create it based on the email address. Then you get presented with all these options. So I can get it to skip the inbox and archive it. So that way I don't see them in my inbox. I can mark it as read as it arrives so it doesn't get added to my unread count. I can star it so that if I star it, I can click on the starred label here and all the emails that I've starred will appear. Now that's useful if you just want to highlight an email just for a few hours or something and then come back to it later. You would just put a star on it. So you don't actually want to filter, you just want to flag that email to look at it later. You can apply a label, and that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to click apply label, then I click on choose label. Now I've only got 2 labels so far. I've got How to Geek and the Membership Guys. So I need to create a new one and call it Firefox. So that's what I'm going to do now. Firefox. Now, if I had a Mozilla label, I could nest this label under the Mozilla label because Mozilla are the people who make Firefox. I don't have one, so I don't need to nest it under there. So I'm just going to click on create. So now every email from Firefox at email.mozilla.org will go to the Firefox label. Now, and I can also tick never send it to spam. I can always make it important, but I don't want to make it important. And I can also put it into one of the categories if I want, like primary, social, updates, and forums. So it doesn't just appear in the main inbox, but I'll just leave it where it is for that. And it says also apply filter to 8 matching conversations. So if you have a number of conversations from somebody that you want to add them to a label, like just say I get a new customer and they've already sent me 3 or 4 emails, but I haven't listed them as a customer yet. I can create a rule for that customer's email address and then put them in my customers folder. And I tick this box here, and that will also include all the previous emails that they've sent to me and put them in that label or folder. Okay, so then it says here, filter will not be applied to old conversations in spam or bin, which is fine because you don't want to be filtering in your spam. So then I click on create filter. And now I've got this filtered version with Firefox, and it tells me where each email is. So I've got this one's in 2 places, inbox and updates. And most of them are just an inbox. These ones are in a couple. And what I do now is I actually go over, I can see I've got the new label over to the side here now. See, you've got Membership Guys, How to Geek, and Firefox. Now I go to the 3 dots here, because this is one of my favorite things, is I like putting colors on things. So I go over to there and I choose a color. Now Firefox is a sort of reddy sort of color, isn't it? Red and blue or something like that. So I can just use one of these buttons here, or I can really get excited here and I can go, the background cover might be light blue, and the text, they're trying to suggest the text, but I want the text to be like a red, something like that. Then I click apply, and you can't see it in this folder here, but when I go back to the inbox, see your Firefox has got that light blue color now, but when I click on the inbox, I can see my new label here for Firefox. It's blue with the red writing in it. Isn't that cool?
Well, it certainly makes it easy to understand and to follow it, definitely.
Yeah. So do you think you'd be able to create a label or a rule in Gmail?
If I wanted to.
That's good to hear. So you can certainly see a use for it anyway.
Look, I'm thinking that I did do this, like, and I'm talking about 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Like when I first set up my computer when I was really into all of this. And I really am talking about, what am I talking about? I'm talking about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember doing all of this 20 years ago.
Okay. So what we'll do now then, yeah, and that the concept hasn't changed in all that time.
No, they've just added things. They've made it more options.
Yeah.
Everything's just more options.
Yeah, and see, it can, when it gets pretty busy, the ability to sort of create rules like this is certainly useful, because it certainly helps organize your day. So in the inbox, it looks like that. So, and of course, then I can just go to the Firefox folder, and I've just got my Firefox emails. I've got all my How to Geeks there, which I might be deleting. I somehow don't see myself ever reading all of those, even all these membership guys ones. But they were just set up for the purpose of showing you how to use subscriptions and manage them by creating your labels and things. Okay, so to create a new email, you go up to Compose, click on Compose, then the email box should pop open, hopefully without any other interruptions. So here we are. We have our new message box here, and for most people, no, so I have nobody in my contacts, so I have to actually put the email address in.
Yep.
So there it is, and subject, and I will just say it's a test email. There is a nice test email, and have to put some context. So I go, this is some content, and a full stop. So very good. So I'm composing my email. So that looks pretty straightforward, yeah?
Yes.
And of course, you have some extra options down the bottom here. Now, I've got extra tools, but you've got your formatting options. So just like any word processor, you can bold, you can change the size of your text, you can italic, you can underline, you can change the color of your text like this. We'll just keep it simple for now, but you can do all sorts of things. You can even change the font that you want in your emails, so you can make it quite unique if you like. And you can insert links. So if you wanted to add a website that you wanted to share with somebody, you can use the insert link option. And of course, your attachments, you can attach files as well. And you'll notice here I've added a dictation option. So I can click on this microphone. Cool. Yeah, so I can actually type a letter to you with my mouth and just talk to you. Of course, emojis are an important...
I've never done that.
Oh, well, we can have a play one day when you add it to yours, and yeah, we'll see how we go. You can insert emojis now, and there we are. So, yeah, a nice smiley face, that's done. And you can also insert files using Drive, and also insert photos either from your computer or from Drive. So there's a lot you can do with here that's not that much different to any other sort of email that you've done. And then once you've completed your email, you just click on the send button. But you notice this little down arrow here. There's more send options available, and they are scheduled send. So if you're writing this email at 10:30 p.m. at night, you can schedule it to go at 9 a.m. in the morning. So that way you can train your customers that you don't read the emails at night, even if you do. So, but if I responded to that email at 10:30 at night, you can be guaranteed that there'd be more people sending more emails at that time of night expecting me to be online and responding. So I can schedule that to send it at 9 a.m. the next morning or whenever my office hours start. We're just going to send this one off this time. And off it goes.
That's actually a good idea, isn't it? To train people to expect something from you at a certain time.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you need your day to work for you. And to get it to work for you, you need to get people to respond to you when you can actually service them best. And 11:30 at night is not a good time for me to be trying to help people, because that's when I need my rest. So sending an email is quite easy. Now, the other final thing with the emails today is when you're sending to more than one person, you can go to 2, but then you've got your CC option there, and of course your BCC option there. So you use the CC option if you're happy for more than one person to see that the email's been sent to them. So if you're collaborating on something, you would actually include the other people in your little group in the CC section. But if you're actually sending out an email to a lot of people, you would use the BCC option, because you want everybody to get the same email, but you don't want everybody to get everybody else's email address, because you're breaching the privacy of the other people in the email list. And also, you're just opening the door for all sorts of problems. So you only use BCC if you are sending, if you have a lot of people that you're sending the emails out to, and you don't want each other to know each other's address. So if they're not all part of a group, if they're part of a mailing list, you would be using the BCC option. And there's some other cool tools we can show you on another day of how you can create groups, so that when you do BCC, you just type in the
username.
That's fine.
We can hold that in.
So one thing which I'll show you at a later date is you can click the BCC, and you can actually type the name of a group that you've created, say in your contacts, and you don't have to type in everybody's email address. You just say tennis club, and all the people in the tennis club will, or say football committee or something like that, will appear there, and then you just send it off. So it's nice and easy. So
yes, that would be good to learn. To put people's names in a group, that would be great.
Yeah. So there's a lot more things to your Gmail account. There's even a lot more things to Gmail itself, but I think that's probably enough today. So just for a quick look ahead, you will see some of the other wonderful things in Gmail. Probably the best thing, or one of the best things, is the Google Drive, and that is a place where you can actually store your files and even back up your computer to a degree. And photos, your Google Photos account, that's very useful. You can install that on your smartphone, on all your devices, your computers. Even if you use iPhones and iPads and Macs, you can install the Google Photos app or connect it to your account, and you can save photos from all your devices into your Google Photos account. So effectively you're backing them up and using your free 15 gigabytes of space that Google gives you. And if you need more space, you just give them a little bit of money and they'll give you a lot more space. Lots of other wonderful things here that we'll look at in the future. Probably the contacts will be one of the next best things, because that goes hand in hand with your Gmail account.
Yes. Excellent.
Oh, I think so. I'm inclined to agree with you there. Well, there you go.
Well, thanks for talking about it.
It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to doing it again next time.